Mediator, they need the ability to control any conversation. Otherwise, they will be immediate dangers. About 2005, Dr. Rosenberg are facing 170 Muslim men in a refugee camp that ran next to Jerusalem. It's the center of the Israel-Palestine conflict at the moment. His job there is to present people the nonviolent communication skills. Right off the bat, when he starts speaking and introduce himself, he starts realize people start whispering among each other, muffling among the audience. And suddenly, the translator run up to him and say, "Doctor, I think it's time for you to go. People figure out you are American." And immediately, it make the doctor have a recall memory from last night. This is what he said in the book. On the way into refugee camp, I have seen several empty tear gas canisters that has been shot into the camp the night before. Clearly marked on each canister was the word "Made in USA." And without he have enough time to even recall this memory, someone suddenly stood up from the audience and shout top of his lungs that, "You are a murderer!" And slowly other people starting up calling him the child killer, murderer, assassinator. At the moment, for anybody who are, imagine you are a Jewish American who standing there, hearing people shout on top of their lungs and plus the memory you had before, most of us would choose probably leave the area. But as a responsible mediator, he started using the nonviolent communication skills and control the conversation. The ending result is, in the book says, the same man who had called me a murderer was inviting me to his home for a Ramadan dinner. Of course, I will cover later on, word by word, how the conversation going, how he take this emergency situation down to a level that the person trusts him and invite him to a dinner. Before that, I want to mention why this book that is so important for me to share. For most of the conversations that we learn, either derived from a game theory or negotiations, is all based on one premise. Is you assume other party are a rational, sensible person. When you negotiate your pay with your boss, they have to maintain certain professional. But most of the argument we encounter in life is similar like this. People in high-rise emotion. The problem is root under the surface. So let's see how the doctor handled the conversations. The doctor started addressing the man who called him a murderer in the first place. He said, "Are you angry because you would like my government to use the resources differently?" And here he put a note said, "I didn't know whether my guesses was correct. What was critical was my sincere effort to connect with his feeling and need." The man said, "Damn right I'm angry. You think we need tear gas? We need sewers, not your tear gas. We need housing. We need to have our own country." The doctor said, "So you are furious and would appreciate some support in improving your living conditions and gaining political independence?" And then the man said, "Do you know what's like to live here for 27 years, the way I have with my family, children, and all? Have you got a finished idea what's been like for us?" The doctor replied, "Sounds like you are feeling very desperate and you wonder whether I or anybody else can really understand what's like to be living under those conditions. Am I hearing you correct?" Then the man said, "You want to understand? Tell me, do you have children? Do they go to school? Do they have a playground? My son is sick. He's playing open sewage. His classroom have no book. Have you seen a school that have no book?" And the doctor addressed his need. "I heard how painful it is for you to raise your kids here. You'd like me to know what you want is what all parents want for their children. A good education, opportunity to play and grow in a healthy environment." Then the man continued explaining why he's so painful. Just like that, step by step, they even in the end feel heard and invite the doctor to their house to have a dinner. And a note here, that was a real conversation. But regardless what's your stand on the situation, the doctor said, within the conversation, I didn't agree or disagree. I received his word, not as attack, but as a gift from a fellow human, willing to share his soul and a deep vulnerability with me. In our mind, when we talk about mediator, we think a picture or a role like a court judge, right? You tell me what's your condition, You take a step back, you take a step back. So we come to a conclusion. Or some mediators' job literally is like translator. They don't even let two parties meet with each other. They go to one room, hear them, and translate their word to the second party. But in the author side, that's not what actually mediators do every single day. Their job is essentially heard both parties and then make them trust me to a level that you're willing to give up, express your high-rise emotion, and willing to come to a conclusion to solve the problem, meet the need of both parties. In a way, if you have sufficient skill as a mediator, you have, if not more influence than both parties to reach the conclusion in the end. The reason why I want to share the mediator style of talking or the nonviolent communication skills is because it don't really request other people to be the rational person or the speaking training person. For example, within the book, it gives example. There's one wife and a husband. They have an argument. No matter what the wife said, the husband just stay quiet. If you use the olden style of the communication, no matter what you do, it doesn't work. Tell me what's your conditions, and you don't speak for 10 seconds before you calm down. Yes, you calm down, you ask for condition, but another party, regardless of what you said, they wouldn't willing to speak up to you. What would you do in that sense? The second reason why I really want to share this mediator style of speaking to you is because it's really formulated. What I mean by that is there is step-by-step procedure. All you need to do is follow the simple guideline. Then the conversation will go down smoothly. Instead, you really need to, different sentence, you have to have a different reply, and you have to memorize a lot of script, which is what traditional communication are. So let's dive into it. On the essence, nonviolent communication in a short is 4 steps. First, observing what actually happening. Second, what are the feeling of the person? Third, what is the human need that person is longing? Fourth, a clear, actionable plan. In order for us to understand how powerful is that 4 simple steps, we need to move our point of view back to the example we just bring up, the wife and the husband. Imagine if you're the husband, hearing your wife said, I'm married to a wall, no matter what I said, he's not doing anything. Using a traditional communication, persuasion, negotiation skills, you will take the word literally. She's criticized me. She's unhappy. She wants to break up with me. She wants to divorce with me. That's literally what she tried to convey. But is that the reality? If you use the nonviolent communication, the 4 steps, you will see a brand new point of view. So what is the real observation? That my wife is saying that I feel like I'm married to a wall. What is her feeling? Probably upset, lonely, and hurt. What is her need? Her need is for me to connect with her so she will feel loved. What is the action of her? She may want to invite me to connect our feelings. After this filter, you suddenly realize, okay, she is not actually criticizing me. She is just speak her needs and feeling and request in a hostile way. In the same time, if we change our point of view back to the wife, let's use the 4 step by step to see what happened. First, what's the observation? My husband is not saying anything or replying to me. What is his feeling? Probably feel discouraged, hurt, and upset. Why? Because he have a human basic need called safety. He don't feel safe to speak to me when I'm in such hostile emotions. What's his ask? His ask is maybe for me to not get so mad at him or maybe he just needs a couple minutes to have a normal conversation with me. Then suddenly the indifferent husband turn into a lively human. Through this simple 4-step, you will have a way more empathy and trust to continue the conversation, to find the root cause, to solve the problem. Of course, the whole thing have a lot of details and rules. What does it mean observation? What does it mean feeling? What does it mean need? What does it mean clear request? But today, I'm gonna cover the first part. If you guys are interested, I will make another video in the futures. So lots of people, when they speak out their observation, they are not speak out facts, they are speak out their judgment. For example, imagine you're a boss. This new hired employee, all of the 5 days, he's 3 days late. So you call him over the office to talk about why he always come late. Most boss' first sentence is, "Oh, I observed that you are pretty lazy. You are, a person who can't take responsibility." But when you speak out those words, you are starting a fight. Why? Because that's not what actually happened. He's lazy, he cannot take responsibility. It is your judgment of another person. It's so easy for this new employee to fight with you. What do you mean I am? What do you mean lazy? What do you mean this? What do you mean that? They have so many ways to argue with you. So what does a real observation means? Imagine you are the person who come in late either because you live really far away. Your boss asks you to the office and he start a conversation like this. He said, "Jack, I realized that the past 5 days, 3 days you was late for 5 minutes." When he speak out in this facts term, there's nothing you can argue. You can fill up the facts even more. You may say, "Oh yes, because I live really far away and because the tunnel was closed, so I was stuck in traffic." And from there you can see this boss is already getting this conversation in control. This employee instead, try to fight back, try to prove why you're wrong. He's helping you to build up the narrative. He's helping you to figure out what is more detail, what is more factually happening. That even open more window to solve the issue eventually. And that's all for today's video. I really hope you have a little understanding what Mediator do and maybe can improve your own communication or your life. And my name is Paul. I see you next time. Bye.